Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world. It's been a while since I've been away from boxing, so I haven't done a lot of boxing talk, but I want to talk about the business aspect of boxing for a minute and how Oscar De La Hoya is doing himself a disservice in terms of reaching out to more demographics and expanding boxing. So I want to get into that really quickly, but first, Matthew 6:5 says, "When you pray, do not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in synagogues and in the corners of streets, that they may be seen of men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But when you pray, enter into your closet, and when you shut your door, pray to your Father in secret, that your Father who sees in secret should reward you openly. And don't use vain repetitions when you pray, as the heathen do, for they think that they will be heard with much speaking. Don't be like them, for your Father knows what things you have need of before you ask Him." In short, don't be hypocritical. Don't do things for people to see you. And don't have long oratories and long prayers rehearsed, which you don't mean. Talk to God like how you talk to your friend. Talk to God. Have a conversation with Him. Sometimes your conversation can be short. In fact, Jesus, if you were to go read a little bit more onwards, told them how you can approach your prayer, what kind of content to say, which is the Lord's Prayer pretty much, but it's not to be rehearsed. It's the framework. It's a guide. So I just wanted to say that. Now, Oscar De La Hoya has been very hypocritical of late when dealing with boxing. Basically, Oscar De La Hoya says that this fight here, Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, is a travesty. It's not a real boxing match. And he's been saying a lot of negative things to this fight. And that's sad, because as much as I want to talk about some other fights that are in the atmosphere, Adrian Broner versus Mikey Garcia, which comes over this weekend, and a bunch of other fights that locally are going to be happening, and that's awesome. I want to focus on this, particularly the business aspect, and how Oscar is actually doing bad business and business that really is actually working against him. So he says that the real fight, the real boxing match that real boxing fans want to see is Canelo versus GGG. And that's the fight that we really need to pay attention to. Now, here's the sad thing about it. Oscar said that Canelo, he wouldn't mind if Canelo faced Conor McGregor. So how is Canelo facing Conor McGregor any different than Floyd facing Conor McGregor? Why is it that because Floyd is not his fighter, he thinks that Floyd facing Conor McGregor is bad for boxing and it's a stain on boxing and all these stupid things he say? I'm just saying. Now, all of that you heard before, but I'm coming from a business perspective now. Here's some new information for you to think about. When you think of Canelo versus Gennady Golovkin, GGG, who do you think is the puppet master here? Who's the guy that's going to get the bulk of the money? Who's the guy running the promotion? Is it Tom Loeffler? He's a promoter. If you look at him, he's in the background, but he's not smiling. Who's the guy in the background in the center here? It's Oscar. This is Oscar's show. This is Oscar's promotion. Tom Loeffler just provides Gennady Golovkin. Oscar does everything. It's not Canelo. Canelo has his little promotional company, but Canelo is under Oscar. It's not Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins is a manager, but he's Oscar's lackey. He works under Oscar. Loeffler's serving Oscar. Hopkins is serving Oscar. And these two fighters are serving Oscar. Oscar gets the bulk of the money. So when we talk about Oscar De La Hoya and promoting a fight, Oscar is the businessman here who's going to get the most returns. Okay? Now, the interesting thing about Mayweather versus McGregor is that the one who is the puppet master here is Mayweather. It's not Dana White. It's Mayweather. Why? Because in the state of Nevada, you have to have a boxing license to promote. And guess what? Dana White is a UFC man. He's not a boxing man. So the one who is handling this promotion is Floyd. All Dana White is doing is providing the boxer. You understand? So the puppet master here is Floyd. The one who gets the lion's share of the profits and the money is Floyd. You can say, oh, Al Heyman's real puppet master. No, not Al Heyman. Al Heyman doesn't own a promotional company. Al Heyman doesn't have a promoter's license. Al Heyman only gets a certain percentage of the cut of what Floyd and Conor do, and that's it. It's Floyd. Okay? For those people who say, oh, Al Heyman's behind Floyd Mayweather. No. Al Heyman advises Floyd. Al Heyman makes great business decisions that Floyd learns about, and Floyd's learned a lot under Al Heyman and a lot of. But Floyd is the one who's the promoter. Floyd is the one who's covering the cost, not Al Heyman. Al Heyman ain't covering no cost for this promotion. It's Floyd. Okay? Make that abundantly clear so you understand. Floyd's the one that employed all the people at Mayweather Promotions and TMT under him. He's the one that hands out the checks. Al Heyman may hand him a check, alright, but believe you me, Al Heyman is not a promoter. He's a manager. And he manages Floyd, and he manages him very well, but he's not a promoter. Okay? Let's be clear here. The guy who's running this show in this fight is Floyd. The guy running the show over here is Oscar. Businessman to businessman, Oscar, I don't care what issue Oscar got with Floyd. If Oscar wants to be successful, he needs to speak well of this fight. Now let me tell you why. We as hardcore fans know about this fight. We as hardcore fans know about GGG. We know about Canelo. There are some casual fans who know about GGG. And some who know about Canelo. But for the most part, they are not as well known as the names Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. Now hear me out. Business-wise, this is where Oscar's shooting himself in his foot. Oscar is trying to badmouth the two most well-known and greatest fighters in their respective disciplines. Conor McGregor is in mixed martial arts. He's the greatest fighter right now in mixed martial arts, at least publicly speaking, that everyone knows. And Floyd Mayweather is the greatest fighter in boxing currently that everyone knows. In other words, they're the two hottest names in their respective sports. And this fight is a crossover fight, even though it is a boxing match, because of course the promoter here dictated what it would be. Even though it's a boxing match, you have to understand that this is an MMA fighter, and he will be coming in with certain MMA skills that he can use in boxing, and he's going to be unorthodox. And that wild card nature of this guy here is what he brings to this ring. What if an MMA fighter who could box a little bit fought a boxer who could box? What would the MMA fighter bring to the game? MMA fighters are considered tough, strong. What would a boxer who doesn't have the greatest amount of knockouts be able to do against an MMA fighter, and an old boxer at that, against a young MMA fighter? These are the questions we have. So it is intriguing, even though I'm not going to go see it because I think it's still a one-sided mismatch. It is intriguing, and you have to understand the people who are going to buy this fight, a majority of them are casual fans of contact sports. And guess what? There are tremendously more casual fans of contact sports than there are hardcore fans of boxing. Okay? Floyd Mayweather is a superior businessman to Oscar Delahoya. He's going to make a mint. He and Conor McGregor. Because we got Conor McGregor's fans coming. We got Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s fans coming. And then we got people who don't even watch boxing or MMA who are going to be intrigued about this fight. And then we'll have casual MMA fans coming. And then we'll have casual boxing fans coming. The numbers are going to be extraordinary. This fight will, business-wise, trump this fight times 10. Okay? Oscar is sabotaging himself by speaking bad about a fight where there will be a bunch of fans who know nothing about boxing or MMA. Nothing. There's all this new demographic coming in to see this fight. If I was Oscar, I would praise this fight. And I would try to get my name and these two fighters heard in the midst of that. I wouldn't speak bad about this fight because business-wise, Floyd is superior as a businessman and Conor McGregor to me. Because their names are hot, red hot. And we're not just talking boxing. We're just talking in the general public, period. So, if I want people to know about boxing, then I'm going to start talking good about this fight. And particularly about the boxer in this fight, Floyd Mayweather, because I'm a boxer, right? I'm a boxing promoter, right? I start talking good about Floyd. Because that's a segue for me to talk good about my fighter, who's not as well known. I might be well known in Mexico, but he ain't as well known as Floyd worldwide. And then I would start talking good about this fighter. I'm going to introduce the people that the world don't know about by first talking about the people the world knows about. So I'm always saying something good about Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, and then I do my segue like this. I say, so if you are so excited about Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, I got to tell you about two fighters you probably never heard about. And they exciting. One of them, ESPN calls the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, Gennady Golovkin. The guy, he got Mexican style boxing. He's tough. You could punch him and it's like you punch a wall. He still comes. And he got skill. And the other is a superstar. And he faced Floyd Mayweather, the greatest boxer of all time, who's going to be facing Conor McGregor, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time. Yeah, his name, he call him Redhead, Canelo Alvarez. You should see this boy in action. And he's come up in weight to face this middleweight champion of the world. You gotta see this. This is must-see TV. If you are excited about Mayweather versus McGregor, you gotta see this boxing match. It's boxing like Mayweather. Mayweather's a boxer. And Conor, he fights stand-up. He's a boxer too. Well, you gotta see these guys. Man, if you see Canelo, he's kind of like Conor McGregor. And Gennady Golovkin's kind of like Conor McGregor. What happens if two Conor McGregors clash with each other? You see, you gotta boost it up. You gotta hype it. If you listen to Dana White never speaks bad about any of his fighters. He's all hype. Well, Oscar need to do the same thing. You don't bad talk people in the sport, especially people who are going to make more money than you ever made in your life with any fight. I don't care what bad blood you got, Oscar. So this is what I would tell Oscar De La Hoya right now. Because I think Oscar De La Hoya can still pull it off. He can get some extra fans off of the Mayweather versus McGregor fight. This is what you need to do. Because you need it. You're not talking just to boxing fans. You got to talk to everybody. You got to start riding off of this fight. And you got to apologize for all the negative things you said about Mayweather versus McGregor. And say, that's a brilliant business move by Mayweather. Speaking as a promoter, it's a brilliant business move. And it's a crossover style. And it's got a little bit of wild card in it. Now, I still think Mayweather would win, but you never know. We saw Pacquiao versus Jeff Horn. And we don't know what Conor McGregor had up his sleeve. He might use his unorthodox nature and some of the MMA that he know to fight Floyd. And you just never know what could happen. And then he can go on to say, but you know something? For all you fans out there, or people interested in the Mayweather McGregor fight, I got something sweet for you guys. I got a fight. It's called Canelo versus GGG. And y'all will be like, who that? And I'm telling you now, if you like how McGregor fights, if you like how Mayweather fights, if you like the excitement of thinking about this, is going to be exciting. This is going to be an exciting fight and non-stop action. If you like MMA, you're going to love this fight. If you like boxing, you're going to love this fight. If you don't know nothing about boxing and MMA, you got to buy this fight. It's coming right after the Mayweather McGregor. It's a cool down fight, but not really. It's actually the main course. You'll see what I'm saying, man. It's got action. Go check out Canelo Alvarez's fights. Go up on YouTube. Go check out all of GGG's fights. Go up on YouTube. GGG. Triple G, that's his name. And Canelo. Go check him out on YouTube. You'll see what I'm talking about. Discover some new fighters. They're not MMA, they're boxing, but they're exciting like MMA. Check them out. It's coming, and you name the date, and you say, I apologize to Floyd Mayweather, man. This fight's the joint. It's lit. It's lit. That's a must-see TV. But right after you see that, and you want more excitement, you gotta see this fight. Canelo versus GGG. Must-see TV. All the hardcore boxing fans, they're gonna tune in. But I want you to tune in. I want you to see what I'm talking about. The fight game. I know you're gonna love the fight game. Now with Mayweather versus McGregor, whatever happens in that fight, it's gonna be intriguing. You see this fight? It's a pick'em fight. It's a pick'em fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hype it up like Dana White. You gotta hype it up. Hype it up. Because it's coming after Mayweather versus McGregor. You know, if you're thinking about movies in the cinema, you know, the movies that come last usually are the best. You know, he could say this too. I say we saving the best for last. If you like Mayweather versus McGregor and you want to go see that fight, just remember, save up some money. Because I'm telling you, man, this here ain't gonna fail you. This the best. We're gonna leave the best for last, baby. You know, you hype it up. You don't bad talk. You don't put down. And that's where Oscar is actually committing suicide against himself because of his beef with Floyd and his jealousy. Don't do that, brah. Because this fight at tops would collect in over 1 million pay-per-view buys. That's about it. Because you only got so many die-hard boxing fans and so many casual fans that will actually support this fight. GGG don't got a big base. So what you got to do is you got to start pumping the I almost cussed. You got to pump the daylights out of this fight. You got to start milking it, baby. You got to say good things about this fight. Get your name up in there. Because you can feed off of this fight. You say, man, I wanted my boy Canelo to fight Conor McGregor. That would have been huge. But you know something? Floyd deserves it. You gotta say that. You might be tongue in cheek, but you gotta do it. Floyd deserves this fight. He made ridiculous sums of money. And he's tapping into a whole new demographic, and he's bringing boxing on the forefront stage. He gonna bring my boxing match on the forefront stage. Because when you see him fight Conor McGregor and it's all said and done, win, lose, or draw, you're gonna know about boxing. And you will want to see more boxing. And I'm telling you now. That would be the main, that would be the appetizer. This gonna be the main course, baby. You don't want to miss this. You may not have heard of these guys' names before, but go check them out. Canelo, GGG, check them out. You're gonna love it. And you may stop watching boxing after this fight. Tune in, and you tell them the date again. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. So, I mean, I'm going to watch the fight regardless because I'm a hardcore boxing fan. But I'm just saying, folks, y'all got to stop with the negativity and trying to hate on Floyd. Acknowledge greatness. And don't ever say, but, yeah, he mightn't be with your promotional company. But you can ride his name in a positive way. Ride his name because this brother know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. You ride this dude's wave. You don't hate on this dude. I don't care what your personal feelings are with him. This is business. You do not hate in business. You do good business. Dana White does not hate on any of his fighters. Everything he has to say about his fighters is always positive. Hype the daylights out of them. You gotta hype this fight because you can hype your fight. You're a promoter, for crying out loud. Do your damn job. Promote. See if you can get it up from 1 million buys to 1.5 million buys because a couple people tune in to your hype. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be positive, not negative. Bernard Hopkins, oh, that's a shame on boxing. Dummy, shut the hell up. Dummy. You ain't doing yourself no service. You still in the... It's like you down in the dark, right? You in a little dark hole, murmuring and complaining about people who are in the light, hitting demographics that you ain't hitting. Because you such a boxing fan and you're so faithful to boxing. Sounds so stupid, man. Use your head. If you want people to see real fights, then you got to piggyback off of the fights which you think are mismatches. Because there's a demographic there. They're coming to see that fight. They're focused on that fight. So if you are saying something good about that fight, they're actually listening to you. And that's a segue for you to promote your fight. And some will tune in. But if you are bad talking that fight, they're going to say that's sour grapes and they're going to sign off from you and they're going to go looking for the fight. Because all they want to hear about is good things about that fight. They don't want to hear nothing negative. They don't care about people who got issues and pet peeves and think it's not real boxing and all. They don't want to hear that shit. They bought into the fight already. So if you can say something good about the fight, this is common business sense. You ride, you piggyback off the fight. You won't get a couple people across your way to watch your fight. And then when they see your fight, shit. Now they get hooked on the sport. So negativity never helps. And that's why I said Oscar's a hypocrite. Because he's the same guy that wanted Canelo to face shit, I forgot his name now. This dude, right? Conor McGregor. All right. Stupid. Don't say that, man. Don't be salty, man. You only sabotage and constantly sabotages boxing. He put Ronda Rousey on the cover of Ring. How you gonna put Ronda Rousey on the cover of Ring magazine, then come back and say that this match is a mismatch and it's gonna hurt boxing? Dummy, you hurt boxing already. And the thing about it was, a former boxer in Holly Holm who turned MMA fighter beat Ronda Rousey after all of that. So you made a stupid business move with the Ring, got everybody thinking the Ring is not a bona fide boxing magazine anymore, and then you come back and pull another stupid move, talking and criticizing Floyd for facing Conor McGregor. You stupid? You gonna doubly shoot yourself in the foot? How many times are you going to shoot yourself in the foot? Then he always talk about Mayweather Pacquiao and what a bum it was. What? So if Pacquiao was your fighter, you wouldn't have him face Floyd? I mean, come on now. Alright? So stop with it, man. It's a business move, and it's a brilliant business move Mayweather and McGregor have put together. Right? Dana White has all right to tongue lash your ass. And if they tongue lash your ass, guess what? Nobody cares. Because nobody know about you, Oscar. Nobody knows about you but the boxing community. You still didn't get out of the boxing community demographic. You didn't get beyond it. So nobody cares about you, Oscar. But you can make them care about you if you reach out to where the demographic is interested in. And you can snatch a couple of them after the Mayweather-McGregor fight. Because that demographic going to tune in to Mayweather-McGregor. And they're going to be all kinds. Gennady Golovkin ain't got a big fan base. Canelo got much bigger fan base than Gennady Golovkin. But you could exceed that fan base by tapping into the Mayweather-McGregor fight, by saying good things about it and segueing it to your fight. And you still have a chance. But you got to take your stupid ass and apologize for the stupidness you said and realize the brilliance of it business-wise and stop promoting the crap out of your fight using that as a segue. Because people will tune into you and actually listen to you, Oscar, if you say good things about Mayweather-McGregor. And ride that sucker. That's what you need to do. Mayweather ain't sabotaging you. He's actually a stepping stone to making sure that you get more eyes on your fight. ESPN ain't gonna help your ass. Especially if you sound like a salty little girl. You got to start tapping into the business people, man. It's business sense. And tell Hopkins to shut the hell up. Or else, anything you got to say, it better be praising Floyd. He better talk about how good Floyd is and this and that and how great Conor McGregor is. Let him open his mouth and say that. Otherwise, shut the hell up. He's always about himself. And Tom Loeffler's the only sensible one in the whole set. He ain't saying nothing on it. And if I was Tom, I ain't got nothing to say on it. Period. I'm going to stay out of that. But Oscar is supposedly the main promoter. And he's stupid to be going around just because you got beef with Floyd. Come on, man. Wake up. Wake up. Yeah, we know it's a mismatch fight, Mayweather-McGregor. Guess what? Most people don't think so. So guess what? You don't go saying that and trying to downplay it because the people won't listen to you. Say something that the people will listen to you about. Start praising the business move. Start praising the brilliance of Floyd and McGregor and the business decisions they make. And use what they do, MMA and boxing, to segue into what your fighters do. Because ain't nobody know your fighters. You can put them up on ESPN how much you want. Nobody tuning into ESPN to hear about Canelo versus GGG except for the hardcore boxing fans. And some of the GGG supporters and some of the Canelo supporters in LA and in California. Globally, nobody gives a damn about GGG and Canelo. Globally. The majority of people will not tune in for that. You get 1 million buys, you did well. But you can get more if you just apply yourself in a sensible business way. So that's all I gotta say. I haven't talked much about boxing because it really I've really been in contact sports, but I'm just saying that, you know, sometimes, man, some people are so stupid they don't realize how much they're sabotaging their own sport. Oscar talks about how Floyd Mayweather, he's sabotaging the sport of boxing, and Mayweather Pacquiao. You're talking negatively about your own damn sport and the superstars of your sport. Oh, we want to return boxing to what it was. Shut the hell up, man. What do you need to do? Start talking. I don't care if the person not with your promotional company, not on your side, you're not on your team. Even Bob Arum's starting to get the common sense, and he's starting to talk about how Floyd versus Conor McGregor is not necessarily a bad thing for boxing. He got common sense to understand this is a good move because all eyes will be on boxing and MMA, and people who don't even watch boxing or MMA. It's a good move. And Oscar needs to understand that you don't get people to watch hardcore boxing by bad talking other people who are bringing spotlight to boxing. You don't do that. Oh, see that? Which most of you gonna go watch? That's crap. Come over here. Watch this. Who's gonna do that? Nobody gonna take you on. Nobody gonna listen to you. But if you say, damn, look at that. That's making the sport popular. And you saying all this positive stuff, people be like, who's that dude saying all that positive stuff? Who's this guy? Then they find out, oh shit, this dude used to be a really serious boxer. Look at this shit. Shit, what's he talking about? We see Oscar was like the 5-time, 6-time world champion. I'm sorry, 6th divisional world champion and 6 different weight classes and was an exciting fighter and stuff. Yeah, people started researching your ass. Next thing you want to know what you're talking about, and you're promoting this fighter, Canelo Alvarez. He faced Floyd Mayweather and stuff. Let me see. Oh shit, this kid could fight. Damn, who's he fighting? Oh shit, this dude could fight. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, this gonna be a great fight. I need to watch this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Somebody get this video to Oscar, man. Oscar need to. Sometimes, man. You know, sometimes just y'all as a boxing community, man, y'all need to work together. That's the thing Dana White do pretty good. UFC, everybody kind of work together. Yeah, WWE. You know why WWE is so popular? Because everybody work together. Yeah, they got in-house fighting and all kind of craziness going on in WWE. But at the end of the day, they know it's entertainment. And they work together. You ain't going to roll up in WWE as some other kind of fighter and just take on one of them and they don't come down on you. Same thing with MMA and UFC. And my point is, you got to be united as boxing. Yeah, you got different promoters and different organizations, but you got to be united. For boxing to move forward, you got to watch what you say. Because what you say impacts boxing. And if you lie, your lies will be found out. If you're a hypocrite, your hypocrisy will be found out. So stop being an asshole and be someone who can push the sport forward. Try to say positive things. when I think about this reporter, what was his name? Shit, I forgot his name now. He used to report on the Ali fights and stuff. Really famous reporter. First, he used to really hate on Ali, but then he changed. It came to me and it just disappeared again. Howard Cosell, right? One of the great reporters of all time. Howard Cosell hardly ever spoke ill of a boxer in the boxing ring after Ali. After Ali broke him in, you know what I'm saying? Howard Cosell used to say all the positive things he could think about, and that's why the sports of boxing did so well. Now you got Jim Lampley out there, and he's starting to mellow out again. And Jim Lampley ain't saying so much negative things about people anymore. But my point anyway is, Larry Merchant and Jim Lampley, later on in Larry Merchant's career, not earlier on. Earlier on in his career, Larry Merchant was a hell of a commentator and poetic and everything. I really enjoyed him. And later on, this motherfucker started being so negative about everything in boxing. And he was like salty, and I was like, Jesus Christ, Larry Merchant, what happened to you, man? Nothing positive to say. And I was like, man, jeez. And these are the guys that hurt boxing. You know, when you listen to ESPN Friday Night Fights with Teddy Atlas and all the other guys, oh shit, I forgot their names now. Sorry about that. I enjoyed all of them because very rarely were they negative. They told you what was happening in the sport. And all I'm saying is, we need to get back to that. We need to get back to building off of somebody else's momentum. If somebody's building good momentum, build off of that. There are different styles in boxing. Alright? Just embrace all the different styles. It may not be a super exciting fight, then don't talk about it being super exciting. Talk about it being technical. And this is more of a technical fight, as you can clearly see. And so on and so on and so on. You know what I'm saying? And if the technical guy gets his ass beat one day, great. Then you can talk about more action-packed fights and whatever. My point anyway is this. Good business sense. If you want to really do good business, you always feed off the positive energy of something. Because that's why people go to see something. Because of the positive energy of it. If there's some negative energy as a businessman, you want to distance yourself from that. And you want to go and feed off of something else positive. Because that's where the money will be. So, when a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard starts to speak, I already know he gonna be gold. Because most of the time, Sugar Ray Leonard has nothing negative to say. And if he ain't got nothing positive to say, he ain't gonna say nothing. He's a smart guy. Sugar Ray Leonard is a smart guy. Got business sense. And I'm just saying, Oscar needs to use that intelligence. If it ain't worth talking about, then don't talk about it. Alright? So on that note, I hope you guys had a good one. That's it for me. What you need, I'm out. You can always donate to my channel. Simply go to the About section, click on message me, and I will take whatever donations you want to give. I will tell you exactly what to do. It's really simple, really. But first, you can go there, check that out. Adrian Broner is supposed to be fighting Michael Garcia tonight. I got Adrian Broner winning that fight. Period. Too big. Nobody ever knocked out Broner, and Garcia ain't going to do it. And Garcia depends on his power too much. He got boxing skill, but he got power too, and he depends on his power. And I don't think he can outbox Broner. And I do believe Broner will drop it at some point. So, having said that, you guys have a great one. Enjoy. God bless.